to be able to build a peaceful future together. And we want a lasting peace based on the two-state solution, Israel and the State of Palestine living side by side in peace and security, free of terrorism. The European Union is ready to help, as we have in the past, in recovery, reconstruction and supporting reforms. Beyond the Middle East, Egypt plays a vital stabilizing role across the wider region. We share common concerns and objectives in Libya, in Sudan and in Somalia. Today, we agreed to continue and deepen our dialogue and engagement in these critical issues. Of course, maritime security is also vital for both parts. Given Egypt's position, we will work together to keep sea routes safe and open for trade in the Red Sea, the Suez Canal, the Mediterranean and beyond. Finally, our partnership will continue to be guided by mutual respect, shared values and a strong commitment to multilateralism. Both the European Union and Egypt support the United Nations and the rules-based international order, in accordance with the United Nations Charter and international law. And we agree that working together is the best way to solve global problems. We have also discussed today Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. We are united in our desire for a just and lasting peace. I briefed President Sisi of the ongoing European support to Ukraine in order to achieve peace and to apply pressure on Russia to come to the negotiation table. There have been recent developments in this endeavour, and the European Union strongly supports President Trump's efforts. The European Union will continue to engage with Egypt on this subject because we see Egypt as a leading voice in the global scene and as a partner, also on Ukraine. The European Union and Egypt, we will continue work together. And I'm sure that the European Commission and my friend Ursula von der Leyen will give their best to ensure that we continue to strengthen our bilateral relations. Thank you for this meeting, and we look forward to the next steps in our relationships as partners and friends. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
President von der Leyen.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear Antonio. Mr. President, I also want to wish you a very warm welcome to Brussels. Our partnership is stronger today than ever before. It keeps growing, it keeps expanding, and your presence here, as well as this first ever EU-Egypt summit, is a case in point. Europe and Egypt share strategic interests in the stability, security and prosperity of our people. Mr. President, just last week, the eyes of the world were on Sharm el-Sheikh. I commend you for your crucial role in brokering the agreement to end the Gaza conflict. This was a moment of true leadership. It opened a new chapter for peace. The urgent priority now is to ensure that the ceasefire agreement holds and deliver immediate humanitarian relief. And the European Union is ready to play its part. In the short term, we are actively working to ensure the swift and safe delivery of humanitarian aid to Gaza. We are preparing to launch a Palestine donor group. It will bring together international partners to jointly promote reforms and support to the Palestinian Authority, so that the Palestinian Authority is modernized, strengthened, and can deliver for the Palestinian people. And we know we can count on Egypt's active support and welcome your intention to convene a reconstruction conference. This is a pivotal moment for the entire Mediterranean. The future of our region is being rewritten before our eyes. Europe and Egypt both have a clear stake in shaping that future. And last week, the Commission adopted the Pact for the Mediterranean. We want to create a common Mediterranean space, a space of integration, of opportunity, and of exchange. And the two of us were very pleased to hear your vision, Mr. President, about encouraging European universities in Egypt. Well, in the Pact for the Mediterranean is already foreseen the establishment of a network of a Mediterranean university, so the first step is done, and more will follow, and we want to work hand in hand with Egypt to turn your vision into a reality. The second topic we have been discussing was the delivering on the strategic and comprehensive partnership. Steadily and across all 6 pillars, the partnership is working. Tonight we took stock of the progress made. On the first pillar, we are intensifying our political dialogue. The summit is proof of it. Second, we are strengthening Egypt's economic stability. We are providing Egypt with €5 billion in macro-financial assistance. It was signed today. And we continue our support to social and economic reforms. The third pillar is we are boosting together investment and trade. The European Union is Egypt's largest trading partner, accounting for a quarter of your trade. Our investment conference last year secured commitments worth €49 billion. That is impressive. On energy, for example, we are supporting Egypt's ambition to become a regional renewable hub. You have all the necessary ingredients for it. And we have a flagship project in the making that is the TMET investment platform. It aims to accelerate the deployment of renewable energy, clean technologies, and industrial cooperation between the European Union and our southern neighbourhood partners, and Egypt plays a strong role in this TMET investment platform. We are also expanding our collaboration in the digital sphere. We are opening Europe's AI factories to Egyptian startups so they can train their model and test their model on European supercomputers and use the whole computational power of the European Union. All of this and much more is Mediterranean cooperation in action. The fourth pillar is on migration. Egypt has shown remarkable generosity and leadership in hosting millions of migrants and refugees. Our cooperation on migration covers all key areas. It is underpinned by €200 million of EU support for the next 2 years, and we will work together to fight smugglers and traffickers. But we are at the same time, and that is very important for us, heading towards the second roundtable of the Talent Partnership Initiative. We want to enhance legal migration. We will discuss this further during our next migration dialogue by mid-2026. The fifth pillar is on partnership. Our partnership is focusing on security. I welcome your very strong efforts in fighting against money laundering and terrorist financing. And the last and most important pillar is on our partnership about people, their talents, their skills, their ideas. Europe's association to Horizon Europe is indeed great news. Today, the signing was a very special moment. President El-Sisi, thank you very much for our excellent exchange today. Our partnership is on an outstanding track. We're delivering for our people and for our shared Mediterranean home. Thank you very much for hosting us, and I'm also very much looking forward to the next EU-Egypt summit, then in Egypt.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
President El-Sisi.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, Mr. Antonio Costa, the head of the European Council, von der Leyen, the head of the EU Commission. Allow me to thank the European side very much for their generous reception since I came to Brussels. I'm today here a guest by the EU after a few months that followed our strategic partnership to bear fruit of this partnership to achieve the aspirations of our peoples and also confront the obstacles and challenges that face our peoples and face the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, this Egyptian EU summit is very important due to many reasons. First of all, because it's the first of its kind organized by the European Union with one of its partners in the south of the Mediterranean or the Middle East. Secondly, because it comes at a very important and complex time regionally and internationally. And this reflects the priority given by Egypt and the EU to endorse their strategic partnership and increase the benefits, maximize the benefits of these partnerships. And also the importance of coordination politically and security-wise on the issues that face our region, and also discover the horizons of future and more cooperation between Egypt and the EU economically and in other fields. Mrs. Costa, Mrs. von der Leyen, the relations between Egypt and the EU were not just born today, but they have deep roots, history and geography dictated. The EU is the first partner to Egypt economically and the main supporter of its development programs. And Egypt is a safe and secure passage to Europe and from Europe to Africa, and a serious partner ready to receive the European investments and also to give Europe the commodities it needs in unstable times. And our meetings today show that we are very keen on cooperating economically and in the field of investment especially, and also investing in the human capital as one of the main principles of our partnership, comprehensive partnership, and also try to discover more areas of cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, this summit is a very important opportunity to exchange points of views regarding the crises and the challenges that face the Middle East and Europe. I've told my European partners about Egypt's efforts to reach the ceasefire, a sustainable ceasefire in Gaza based on the a peace plan of the US President, Mr. Trump, until we reach that historic moment when we signed in Sharm el-Sheikh on the 13th of October this historic deal in the presence of Mr. Antonio Costa and a number of leaders from around the world. What happened in Sharm el-Sheikh was a true achievement, but at the same time, it's only a step in a path and a long path that aims to reach a sustainable and lasting peace in the Middle East based on the establishment of a viable independent Palestinian state on the borders of June 4th, 1967 with occupied East Jerusalem, Al-Quds, its capital. And the first thing in this path is the reconstruction of Gaza. And we invite and we want the European Union and the European companies to participate in the reconstruction of Gaza. And we want them to participate in the conference that we intend to host here in Egypt in the second half of November about the reconstruction of Gaza. We also talked about Sudan, what is happening in brotherly Sudan, and our cooperation in Sudan and with the Quartet, and in cooperation with the EU to declare a humanitarian truce to stop the continuous suffering of the brotherly Sudanese people and I've talked to them about the importance of keeping the territorial integrity and unity of Sudan, protecting the institutions in Sudan. We've also talked about Libya, and I affirmed the Egyptian position that aims to achieve sustainable stability in Libya as a main pillar of security for the entire Mediterranean region and the Middle East at large. We also talked to them about Egypt's efforts aimed at reaching a political settlement to the Libyan crisis, unifying the country through holding elections, fair and fair elections. And we want to get the mercenaries out of Libya and to preserve the territorial integrity of Libya. We also talked about the file of illegal migration, which represents a challenge, a common challenge facing the two banks of the Mediterranean, and we can't just talk about the phenomena itself, but we have to talk about the roots of the problem, and so we have to talk about combating poverty and creating jobs and also reaching stability and political stability and security in the region. And in this regard, I assure you that Egypt is playing a pivotal role in combating illegal migration, and that can be seen by Egypt's actual preventing of the departure of any ships that departing for Egypt at the time when Egypt is hosting more than 9.5 million foreigners in Egypt who are being treated just like Egyptians and getting benefit of the services that we're giving to Egyptian citizens as guests here in our country. And they came. I also want to talk about the Horizon program that Egypt joined, and this is another indication of cooperation between Egypt and Europe in the area of education, higher education and innovation, and this is a long-term investment in the future generations, and it's also a chance to exchange experiences between the peoples of the Mediterranean. Mr. Costa, Mrs. von der Leyen, there are a lot of things that bind us in the Mediterranean. There are a lot of things that bind us. We all aspire for a more prosperous future for our future generations, a future that is based on peace, on security, on balanced partnership. And here I call upon you all that this summit would represent a new launching pad for more work for peace and for security and for prosperity. And I want the world to take us, the Egyptian-European cooperation, as an example of cooperation and partnership.